All right, everybody. Hello, and thank you for watching us on WHAS 11 Plus. I'm meteorologist Matt Breland,
And I'm meteorologist Matthew Willoughby.
and we have another round of winter weather to talk about.
Yep.
Almost a repeat of what we had. You know what? Kind of the same timing, almost what we had last week. We've got a system expected to move through briefly Wednesday morning, and then this weekend we've got another system, and that's what happened last week.
Yeah, honestly, it just keeps coming and coming. I mean, we talked about, I think at the beginning of the year where we saw that we could see more active pattern, which means more cold and more chances for snow. And I mean, I think that's exactly what's happening right now, and kind of what we're here to talk about is especially.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get to. We are tracking a winter storm that's expected to arrive across the southeastern U.S., and we've got snow chances in the forecast. And I know a lot of people have been asking about this. I believe last week we already had some interest
Mhm.
in this weekend, and I believe we said, we are headed into a bit of an active winter, so we wouldn't be surprised if we did have another chance for a wintry setup for this upcoming weekend, Matthew. So, yeah, we
Yeah.
do have lots to talk about. The good thing for today is that we are staying quiet and dry, but just very cold. So as we continue going throughout the rest of the morning, I mean, we are going to stay in a mostly quiet trend. I mean, a few patchy clouds starting to develop right now, but there's still going to be some broken sunshine through the day. It's just going to be very cold.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I woke up this morning because we worked the morning shift. It was so cold outside. Like I had the full mask on, the hoodie. I talked about this in
Hmm.
the morning, and like even halfway through my drive, I was still cold in my car. I had the heat on full blast, so it's just really downright cold. I think you
Yeah.
mentioned kind of feels like a deep freezer outside.
It does. It feels like we pretty much just like took Kentuckiana and just put it inside of
Mhm.
a deep freezer this morning. So, some places this morning, I know LaGrange and Shelbyville, they were the winners in how cold the wind chills were. I know for a moment, Shelbyville was -3 and
Wow.
LaGrange was -2 for the feels like temperature. So that's the type of air that normally stays, around the North Pole. This
hmm
is not normal cold air
No,
for
and it's a
us.
really dry air too. Kind of like
Yes.
sucks the air out of you if you kind of
Mhm.
breathe it in. So yeah, it's kind of that really dry, cold air that we've
Yeah.
been seeing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So here's a look at temperatures across the region right now. 17 degrees right here in Louisville. Not that much of a warm up. We're not really expecting that much of a warm day
Mm-mm.
either. Even though it will be very sunny, it's still going to feel very much like winter across Kentuckiana today. And 12 degrees in Indianapolis, 14 in Cincinnati, 9 degrees near Lafayette. Overall, just cold, cold everywhere. And our winds, thankfully, they haven't been too gusty. I mean, this is about as windy, I think, as we'll get today. Winds gusting at times close to 10 miles per hour. LaGrange, you guys are always a little bit windy out there. Every time I pull up the map, I'm always like, all right, let's see how windy
And
LaGrange is.
Lagrange always is up there.
I know. I want us to look more into, maybe somehow there's some valleys or
Yeah.
something that kind of creates maybe some localized stronger winds in that direction. But anyway, we do have winds staying around 5 to 10 miles per hour for most of us, but factor that in with those teens that we have, and it makes the air feel much colder than it actually is. So right now, feeling like
Oof,
9 degrees in LaGrange,
oof.
feeling like 6 degrees in Bedford, feeling like 10 degrees there in Lebanon. Feeling like 12 degrees here in Louisville, or
Mhm.
9 degrees here in Louisville, so definitely chilly for
Yeah,
us today.
absolutely. I mean, it's about 10:46 now, so yeah, we're starting to get into the more times where we start to get a little bit of heating. But honestly, 9 degrees for a feel like temperature, yeah, that's pretty
Mhm.
cold. I mean, you look at Bedford, 6 degrees. So,
Yeah.
and even with a slight wind that we talked about, 5 to 10 miles per hour, that's not much, but
Yeah.
it surely does make the difference with
Oh, yeah.
colder temperatures with just that slight breeze. I mean, if we were talking about 15 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts, then we're talking even colder conditions
Oh,
outside.
yeah. Yeah. So this is definitely some strong cold air, and it's not really going to ease up too much as we head throughout the next upcoming days. So here's a live look of the Ohio River from downtown. This view is brought to us by U of L Health and also Bachman Auto Group. Here's your weather headlines to keep in mind as we head throughout the next upcoming days. Intense cold. Also, single digit wind chills, still a possibility throughout the rest of today. We just showed you that map where everyone is very close to the single digits or at the single digits. And then we are tracking snow.
Oh,
Every time I
that
say it,
S word.
yeah, every time I say it, I just feel like, there's a subtle gasp
Mhm.
happening
Yeah.
across the screens with
Yeah.
everybody.
I mean, it's a big weather headline that we've been talking about. I know a lot of people, are thinking about it, want to know what's expected to happen for the weekend. Of course, you look forward to the weekend, but
Mhm.
how the weather models have been shaping up. This could be one of those more bigger storms that we talk
Yeah.
about.
And here's the thing about snow that makes it different from, rain and other types of precipitation, sleet and, you know, frozen precipitation. Snow, when after it happens, it has a lingering effect
Yeah,
usually. I mean,
it
like
does.
once enough snow happens, I mean, it's not, usually in the average rain shower, it's over with and you're going throughout your day
It
just
warms
fine.
right back up or
Yeah,
dries up,
right.
but snow sticks around.
Snow lingers, especially for this time of the year. So that's something else that we're keeping a close eye on. Temperatures are expected to get cold enough this weekend to keep any snowfall that we see around for a while. So this is probably going to be one of our, snowy patterns that we have for the winter that kind of lasts for a while. So we're going to jump
Mm.
into what details we know so far. We're going to go and start off with letting you know with what you can expect for today. Just sunny and cold. There's really not much that's going to impact your Tuesday across Kentuckiana. Sunny, cold day. Temperatures will struggle to reach the upper 20s, lower 30s for a few of you. But once we head into the night, that's whenever we'll start seeing a few of those clouds start developing in. And then early tomorrow morning is whenever we'll see the arrival of this like wintry sleet mixture. So you'll notice that it'll start off as rain early into the morning, but the cold air that we have right now, we've got a lot of cold air in place. As soon as that moisture starts combining with it, it's going to try its best to start off as a bit of a sleet mixture and then transition into snow. But here's the thing, we've got a lot of dry air around right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just talked about that, how like kind of dry this area is. So it's that snow is gonna really struggle to develop and roll through our area. That's why we're kind of not really saying this will be the more impactful snow event that we see. This will be quick moving in and out of here and throughout the morning hours. And I mean, by the afternoon, you won't even know that we even had any snow. But
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of, it seems like the little appetizer before we talk
Or what we
about
really have headed our direction.
exactly.
So, this is going to, kind of juice up the atmosphere a little bit for our Wednesday. So, this is not supposed to be an impactful system for your Wednesday morning. These are going to be just very light snow showers once they arrive, and they do not last very long either because we're expected to reach above freezing fairly soon into our Wednesday morning. So, any snow that we see could cause a trace amount like on your lawn, on the top of your car, maybe on your rooftop, just a little bit to notice. But as soon as we see those temperatures reach above freezing, we're expecting a lot of that to get out of here.
Get
So
up
it's
on
just,
out of here.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say not really anything to be concerned with tomorrow morning. Of course, just be careful with your commute. But otherwise, we're not looking at an impactful setup with this since that dry air is going to really be something that this is going to have to battle through. So by the afternoon, most of that activity is done with. We're going to have temperatures right around the lower 40s through highs this afternoon and evening, or tomorrow afternoon and evening. Tomorrow night will continue to stay cloudy. Temperatures into the upper 30s, and then our Thursday starts off with more sunshine, but temperatures still a bit cooler into the upper 20s, and then we really don't have that high of a temperature difference for Thursday afternoon. Temperatures are going to still be a few degrees above freezing, but not very long.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think once we show the 7 day at some point later on, but like you'll see that we're kind of doing a little bit of a roller coaster. We're going up the ladder, going up the roller coaster for today, a little bit into tomorrow, but eventually after tomorrow, then we're going right back down, and we're going down by a lot
Yeah.
in towards the weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this is the big weather maker that we have right here. This is like, don't blame us, blame this area of low pressure that we have. So we're going to give you a detailed look at what's causing this. So we've got this area of low pressure over towards the north. That's that L that you see right there, and that is just towards the north of the Great Lakes. It's staying put there all throughout our Thursday, and that is going to keep the wind pattern directing just this steady amount of cold air
Oh,
as it continues to go southward into the Ohio Valley. So we have a steady blast of just cold air rolling in just as we head into the later parts of our Friday. So Friday is expected to be our cold weather trend as we see that cold air just rushing its way
yep.
in as we head later on into Friday afternoon. So that's going to be part one of this setup. The other setup that we have rolling in later into Friday overnight is going to be this amount of moisture that's going to flow in from the south near the Gulf of Mexico. So pretty much what's shaping up to set up is that we're going to have this dense, deep, frigid air roll in from the Arctic all throughout our Friday is pretty much the priming day for it. Friday, we're expected to stay dry, few passing clouds, but temperatures are going to stay below freezing throughout Friday, well below freezing. So that's already the first thing that we need for a snow pattern. The second thing that we need, of course, is moisture. And there is a low pressure system also towards the south that's going to drive in a decent amount of moisture that's really going to collide with this cold air. And we're pretty much in the middle ground for that, mostly across Tennessee. So that's really what's going to be the determining factor with how much snow we see. So we do have a weather impact alert in place for this weekend. Since we are expecting that accumulating snowfall, it's going to also be a very, very frigid weekend as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of a double day where you see Saturday and Sunday. This is possibly could be shaping up to be kind of a 2 day system, a 2 day event that happens for us as we go towards today or go towards this weekend. And sometimes that can be more of the higher snow total events that you do see sometimes. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on this. And I know we've been looking at the models kind of all week, and there's still some uncertainties, but I think we can honestly say with this graphic right here is going to be some impacts. And that's why we do have that weather impact alert day issue, because there is going to be some impacts. We're talking poor travel. Matt just showed you the temperature kind of anomaly of what to expect for Friday into Saturday. We're going to be, well below freezing for, several hours before this event arrives. That means ground temperatures are already going to be below freezing, meaning once that snow does arrive, coating roadways, coating grass surfaces immediately.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and tell you what we're expecting. So we're going to give you the look at what we have right now. We've been keeping an eye on this trend. We're starting to see a little bit, as of today, we've seen a little bit more agreement with our weather data that we process here. So we're going to show you which model has typically done better in the past with handling these types of systems. So as I mentioned, Thursday is going to continue being just a dry day, sunshine, briefly above freezing through the afternoon. But as we head into Friday morning, you'll notice those green arrows that are popping around on that map. Like, take a closer look. You'll notice those green arrows from the north. That is our steady Arctic air that's just going to continue all throughout the day Friday, keeping our temperatures well below freezing. So we're expecting highs on Friday, the range really just into the 20s. So the deep cold air is already going to be here. As we head later on into Friday afternoon, we continue to stay cloudy. There's a possibility for a few small flurries here and there, but entering Saturday morning, that's whenever a lot of this system starts to shape up. Farther to our south is where it's expected to begin. That's where that moisture starts flowing in. And then once it collides with the cold air later into Saturday afternoon, that's whenever we should start seeing our first few rounds of snow arrive.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this will be just during, I think about 2:30 on a weekend, on a Saturday. That's, you want to be out and about, doing whatever you want to do, like during your Saturday. You want to enjoy the day off, or whether that's, going out to eat, and, going, just enjoy your Saturday. So we want to definitely stress, don't get caught in this snow that's likely going to roll through. Of course, we still don't know the amount just yet, but just make sure you're staying up to date and getting those updates, because as more weather models come out, as each day comes on, then we're going to get better updates on timing and how much snow is going to roll in. But we can tell you either way, this is going to be a weekend winter storm.
Right. Yeah, we're expecting this to be a weekend snowmaker for sure. So here's the thing. This starts bringing in a few of those small patchy flurries later into the afternoon, and then into the evening time. That's whenever we're really expecting it to start bringing in more of a steady snow pattern for us. So our Saturday night is looking like that's whenever we'll see just a steady amount of, or a steady period of more moderate snowfall lasting steadily throughout our Saturday night. And this carries over into Sunday morning, and also later into Sunday morning is looking like whenever we'll see some slightly more intense snow arrive as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk, we'll talk about that intense snow. You see kind of where that pink is. The closer you see the blue versus the pinks, that's when you start to see really that heavy, wet snow. So it should be really interesting to see, how far north this system goes, because, if it does go a little bit further north, that it means kind of more of that wet, heavy snow can be rolling through our area. Or, if it's further south, that means we get kind of the edge, the kind of crust of the bread,
Yeah.
more some light snow. So this should be interesting. I know we have a few questions about different areas, whether it's Jefferson, a few comments in Facebook about Jeffersonville, Indiana, in Breckenridge County. But I think we can honestly say this will be a widespread snow event that's rolling through.
Yeah, I'd say all of Kentuckiana is in for at least seeing accumulated snow. As of right now, we're having a rough estimation that we'll see about 1 to 3 inches of
Hmm.
accumulation. I'd say higher accumulations are definitely likely for more of our southernmost counties because they're going to be closer to where a bulk of that moisture is. So whenever you have more moisture, think of it as like a heavy rainstorm, except whenever there's more moisture, it can lead to more snowfall. So we're keeping a close eye on snowfall totals. We're still pinpointing exactly the right areas. It is just Tuesday. Usually we start getting a better idea on snowfall totals about 2 days before the storm. But as of now, it's looking like there is an agreement with at least 1 to 3 inches across Kentuckiana. So we're kind of rolling with that estimation for now. But as we head throughout the next upcoming days, we will continue to keep you updated with what snowfall totals we're expecting. But we are fairly confident that we will see accumulated snow by Sunday. Like this is looking like once again arriving late Saturday. We'll go through it one more time to give you guys the timing for it again. Once again, Friday just stays dry but very cold. That's going to be our day that brings in the cold air. So the cold air arrives first, and then the moisture arrives second, and then that combination starts meeting each other throughout Saturday morning and then into Saturday afternoon. That's whenever we're expecting the arrival of these snow showers, and they're expected to last throughout Saturday evening and well into the overnight hours and Sunday morning. It's whenever we're expecting that to still be present. And as I said, we're still keeping a close eye on snowfall totals, but as of this morning, there is an agreement that there's at least 1 to 3 inches expected across Kentuckiana.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of seems like one of those setups where you can't see really one of those mid south winter storm setups. So yeah, I think 1 to 3 especially is a good mark to set at for now. And once we get those better updates, we can really we'll be able to draw a map of where specifically and precisely we're expected to see different types of snowfall, whether it is 1 to 3 or 3 to 4 anywhere else. So yeah, we'll be able to, as the days go on, be able to show you really a set defined, more accurate amount of snowfall,
Right.
where exactly that'll be.
Right, exactly. So we're going to go ahead and show you what to expect over the next 7 days. Our temperatures kind of go woo,
Yep.
woo,
Talk
like
about that roller coaster.
but then the big drop happens for our Saturday, and then we stay in a very cold pattern as we head into next week. But as we said, there's going to be a little bit of a light snow rain mix that moves through early tomorrow morning, but nothing that's going to really impact your morning time. It'll be out of here fairly soon, later into the morning hours. Thursday stays dry. Friday is our cold bringing day. Our highs only in the upper 20s, but steadily throughout the day, the air just gets colder and colder. And that really sets up Saturday to be a day where this snowstorm is likely going to arrive and bringing in steady snow showers for us, lasting Saturday afternoon into Saturday night and then Sunday. So this is looking to be a weekend event. We're continuing to monitor all the latest details, but something else to notice too, like snow, definitely our number one condition that we're keeping a close eye on, but the cold air, we're back into the single digits again for
Once again.
pretty much Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning. We've got another round of cold air, so that means single digit wind chills again, 0-degree wind chills possible, possibly even negative wind chills. So yeah, another strong cold blast headed our way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I want to touch on at least last week where, we were having issues with the temperatures, trying to get to freezing was last weekend's event when it came to the snow. We just didn't get there, and that's why I kind of saw more of a wintry rain, cold rain event last week. There's not going to be any problems getting cold enough to have any snow for this event coming up. We're talking 17 degrees. That's more than cold enough to get some snow showers rolling in for us.
Right, exactly. So you want to just make sure that you stay up to date with us here on WHAS. We are going to continue keeping all of our eyes on this incoming system because this is definitely shaping up to be one of the most trackable winter storms that we've had so far this season. We had our few rounds of snow in December, and we've dodged a few snow showers too, but there's a lot of confidence growing that this is going to be, I would say, one that brings impacts for us this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely seeing. I know we said on the graphic accumulating snowfall. That's the main impact, and with those roads, of course, they get pretty slippery pretty quickly throughout
Yeah.
our area. So I mean, and we're talking about a day, 2 day long event. I mean, that
Hmm.
snow is just going to keep coming and keep coming. So it's not going to be much breaks to where we see a quick melting, because I mean, it's not going to be even warm enough to see that snow melt. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the plow truck drivers will definitely be a bit busy this
I'd
weekend.
say this is going to be a shovel-worthy
Yeah.
type of situation too for your driveways and everything. So we're going to continue keeping you updated with all the details that we have regarding this weekend. It's Tuesday. We're going ahead and just putting it on your mind, just keeping in your head that there's supposed to be some snow showers throughout the weekend, and just take that with you throughout your week as we go closer into the weekend time. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get off of here. Remember, meteorologist Matthew Willoughby will be on at 12 p.m., and then we'll have Chief Meteorologist Mallory Snell on for the later afternoon shows to keep you updated with all these weather details. It's a very busy week, and we're staying in this chilly pattern. But thanks for watching us on WHAS 11 Plus. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.